the home of the do-it-yourself trucker. When everything goes wrong, you gotta Redneckanize. Well, what's going on, everybody? Hey, this is Ed. Welcome back. This is Redneckanize Radio. Call in 516-387-1733. Hope everybody's enjoying their night tonight. And we're just kicking back, going over different things going on, what's going on in the world out there today. And there's an article here on Landline magazine, Landline Now, and it was interesting. I thought that it was talking about California, and of course California out there, they always got something different going on. This was about that law that they passed. It was actually several years ago. There was a law that they passed that reclassified owner-operators as employees. The test was like, if you have to pay for stuff like that, that the company should be paying for it, you shouldn't have to. If they tell you what to do, and you have to do what they tell you, then you're an employee. That's what California says. And of course, what California wants is they want these people, the companies, to pay taxes and to pay, they have their own, what is it, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, stuff like that. They want that paid. California, they want all that to be paid in. And so the California Trucking Association, they filed a lawsuit saying this is not right. You're going to kill the owner operators and all that. And so the court said you can't do that. You need to change the rule and everything. And then another court, they said no, that's okay, they can do it. And then so now they have an injunction and they need to take it to the Supreme Court. And if the Supreme Court won't hear it, then it's done. So this here was posted on June 23rd of this year, and it says AB 5 injunction remains as trucking group petitions SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States. It says an injunction preventing California's Assembly Bill 5 will remain in place while the California Trucking Association appeals the case to the U.S. Supreme Court. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit on Wednesday, June 23rd, granted the California Trucking Association a motion to delay the enforcement of the worker classification law that opponents believe will end the trucking industry's owner-operator model. If the Supreme Court elects to hear the case, the injunction will remain in place until the ruling is made. If the Supreme Court decides not to hear the case, AB 5 will immediately take effect in the trucking industry. The California Trucking Association's petition to the Supreme Court is due November 18th. So this might not happen until sometime next year then. I think the Supreme Court, they pretty much end that time. They're done with all their stuff before Thanksgiving. And they won't start up again until, the next year. So the only thing I know about this so far is that this rule is for all companies, all workers. Okay, so it's for people that are mechanics, hotel workers, school teachers, warehouse workers, all that, about the difference between contractor and employee. So the funny thing is that a lot of exceptions were laid in because of accountants and doctors and stuff like that. So there has been a lot of exceptions placed into this law, which a lot of people say, why, lawyers come out and say, why would you have a law if you have to have so many objections, so many exemptions? And that's the reason, that's probably why the law might fall, because of all the exemptions. It says here, after the ruling, the California Trucking Association said it would continue to fight the case at the highest level. It says, while the decision of the Ninth Circuit Court to deny the en banc rehearing is disappointing, we are committed to continuing our efforts to protect California's 70,000 independent truckers. California Trucking Association CEO Sean Yadon said earlier this week, enforcing AB 5 would throw the nation's supply chain into further chaos and destroy the livelihoods of thousands of blue-collar entrepreneurs. I don't know, the U.S., I don't know, that's not, there's not that many truck drivers in California. I know that a lot of these big carriers like Schneider and Swift and all those, they won't even hire drivers out of California unless they've already got their CDL. Like if you're going to a truck driving school in California, those carriers won't hire you until you're done, because they usually like there's a lot of truck driving schools that the companies pay for, and it's cheap, but California is very expensive because it's a harder school to get to. They focus on training, which is good, but it's a little extensive and it's a little how do you call it, a lot of bureaucracy, and it's really just it's not training as it is paperwork. This article continue on. It says, we will look to every option to prevent greater harm, including filing a motion to delay the removal of the preliminary injunction, while we also petition the U.S. Supreme Court to consider our case. On April 28th, the three-judge panel ruled 2-1 that California's AB 5 is generally applicable labor law and called for the removal of a preliminary injunction against enforcing the state law on motor carriers. The trucking group contends that AB 5 would force the end of the industry's owner-operator model and would be in violation of the Federal Aviation Administration's Authorization Act, which prevents states from enforcing a law or regulation related to a price, route, or service of motor carriers. Earlier this month, the Owner-Operator Independent Driver Association filed an amicus brief in support of the California Trucking Association's petition for the rehearing in bank. OIDA and AB 5 will cause this. OIDA said AB 5 will cause immediate and irreparable harm to thousands of truckers. The California Senate passed the law in September 2019. It was intended to apply to a variety of industries. It went into effect January 1st, 2020, but the California Trucking Association was granted a preliminary injunction that stopped the state from enforcing the law on motor carriers. And that's all it did. It's still not much, but there's more stuff here about it. And I remember going over it before, and I even there's a lot of lawyers in California that had done videos on YouTube explaining the law and how it affected other industries. And like I said, that's where I learned that there were a lot of exemptions put in place for the law for other professions. And again, I don't know. To me, it's just a money and power grab by the government. They're wanting to try to control what the companies can do with people, because a lot of these like California, New York, they like labor, they like the unions, and everything. And I think a lot of unions supported this because they wanted to unionize. They want a company to be forced to be union so that they can control a lot of that stuff. In fact, I don't know if you saw in the news that the Teamsters are starting to go after Amazon. And they're going to try to unionize Amazon, which, if you guys don't know, the Teamsters pretty much run everything in UPS. UPS is Teamster, and I think parts of FedEx is Teamster too in certain states. And if you guys go in and look at the history of that, it's hilarious to me that the Teamsters, they have this phrase, and you would think that it would be bad to admit, but they call it aggressive negotiation tactics, where they were threatening people like the owners of businesses or workers that didn't unionize. They would threaten them with physical harm, and they called that aggressive negotiation tactics. It's like, the video actually says, thanks to aggressive negotiation tactics, we were able to unionize, most of the states, Illinois and Wisconsin, and this was, of course, in the 30s and 40s and everything. And I'm like, what? There were stories I heard where they would throw bricks off the bridge to trucks going down the highway because they were non-union trucks. And they were sabotaging all these trucks, because they weren't union, and they said you need a union, and all that, and union served its purpose, and now it's just money. They're money grab, power hungry kind of stuff. So it's I'll say it like that, and of course it's just one of those things. So yeah, you can just call in at 516-387-1733. And if you just listen along or just be a conversation, just hit 1. You can chime in a little bit. I think we're going to go to the lines here, and I think we got one of our crew calling in. Let's see who we got here. And is he right there? There he is. How you doing, bud?
All right.
Yeah, chiming in, are you?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Going great.
I made it home.
There you go.
I'm thinking I need to go back out to work though real quick.
Yeah, because too much money to be made?
I get home away from everybody, and then they end up showing up at my house.
Oh, see? Oh, man, I tell you.
Here in a minute.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
There you go. All right. What's going on? So, yeah, we got Greg and Robbie, the Redneckanize, calling from the same number because they're sitting there at the kitchen table together, sitting on the phone there.
Here's what we're doing.
There you go.
Ain't bad enough that he comes to visit today for the night. Well, that's exciting. They might be better too.
Oh man, I tell you.
You wanted ice cream.
No, get it right. He wanted a spiked milkshake.
Oh, spiked milkshake. See?
Yeah.
That's why when you get truckers, see everybody, there's a lot of truck drivers out there that they love to drink, but because you're a truck driver, you can't. So when you get time off the truck, when you be able to park that truck and turn it off and get out of the truck and not have to go sleep in the truck or anything like that, that's when you like to tie one on, because you don't get to that often, So yep. So when you get the chance and tie one on, that's what you got to do. Yep. I actually.
So what do you think?
What's that?
California's gonna win that?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, the way it's said there is that the Supreme Court has to hear it, and of course they won't they submit it, but that won't be until next year, so we won't really find out anything. And I think that the Supreme Court will say, I'm pretty much thinking the Supreme Court will knock it down. They'll say you can't do it. You can't change the rules. You got to let people. If people want to be owner operators, they should be allowed to be owner operators. If they want to be independent contractors, they should be allowed to be independent contractors. That's what I think the Supreme, because a lot of those people, I know that Clarence Thomas is going to rule that way, and I'm pretty much thinking that Gorsuch and Alito will rule that way. So it all comes down to that. I think is Roberts? Is that his name? The guy in charge. He's the one that always flip flops because so it might come down to him, and of course. It all depends on what happens, because I mean anything can happen. You know, you could lose a member, and it all depends on what do you call it, what the Senate does in nominating somebody. So if somebody leaves, if somebody passes away, you never know, and that could change things. So, but it won't happen until sometime this time next year. We should know something, if anything. But yeah, it's a crazy world out there in California. If you go on YouTube and you look up those lawyers, there's a lot of lawyers that do nothing but trucking stuff, and they say that there's so many exemptions to this law from other industries that it's useless. The law is just useless. All you got to do is get an exemption. So if they could just maybe even they could keep the law and just give motor carriers an exemption. So ain't no telling, you know.
Well, under the law, you're gonna hand out exemptions like how we can.
Yeah. That's.
They just try to figure out a way to do an exemption. They don't mind.
I gotta say, it's not safe to go out here and drive around with you know, if you drive over your 15, drive over your yard service by 15 minutes. Oh my God, it's a crime. You know, you're gonna go there, fine you, and whatever. But you know, you let it be a natural catastrophe or something. Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Just forget about it. Just run as hard as you want to run. To me, that don't make any sense.
Well, are you talking about how let's dive into that too, where people where like you're saying. We violate this little law that just says you can't drive more than 11 hours, but I violate that law 15 minutes, even 5 minutes, and you can get a fine. You can be fined. You have to pay money, and if you don't pay that money, then you can't drive a truck. Well, I don't know if you guys heard about what happened down in Florida, but a building collapsed down there, and come to find out that there are reports where those inspectors said that there's a problem, and we need to probably look at it, and it just sat on somebody's desk, and nobody did anything about it, and so.
Right.
But are they going to get in trouble? Are they going to, if they work for the government and they neglected their job, are they going to get in trouble? Probably not. It's like we're just
the people that file lawsuits, but they'll probably never see a collection of those.
Yeah, I mean
But they're going to fight them to the end.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they say, well, this company, they messed it up. The government was supposed to check on them, but they never did. So is it the government's fault because the company messed up, but nobody ever told them they messed up because nobody ever followed up with it? But then they're going to say, well, the company should have done more. Well, you can sue the company, but as long as the company meets the government standards, which is that's the reason why we have government standards, is for everybody to meet the government standards. So yeah, you say people are going to file lawsuits and they'll never see any money, and everything, or.
They'll never collect the video.
Yep, or they'll do it like Obama did when that pipeline broke over there by New Orleans and it sent a bunch of oil out and it kept flowing. They couldn't stop it because it was underneath the water and all that. And it was that BP. That's what it was, BP oil spill. And what happened is that the CEOs of BP went to the White House to talk to Obama, and they said, we need to set up this fund. And what they said was, nobody file any individual lawsuits. If you have an issue where you are going to be harmed by this, you need to contact this office that was set up by the White House, and then we'll assess whether or not you deserve any money or not. and it was like, they controlled it. They controlled it really hard, and a lot of people made a lot of money that shouldn't have. So that's what will happen on that. Is they'll always say, oh no, we'll do it a better way, where we'll give a bunch of bureaucrats a bunch of money and nobody will ever get any pennies.
Right.
But yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all depends on what's going on. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but a truck driver's been missing for weeks now. He was reported missing on June 8th, and they still haven't found him yet. What do you think about that?
Really?
Yeah. So
I
So,
can't imagine.
well,
I can't imagine how they can find him, or I can't imagine. He's around that truck.
well, see, that's the thing.
I mean, with the cell phones and you know, all the technology, all the electronics and technology got in this world anymore, and they can't find somebody. I mean, a driver.
Well, so this is my thought, is that he's alive and well, hauling freight, making money, and he don't want his wife knowing where he's at. That's
That's right.
you know.
That's right. Find out where he's at. Let me know, because I want to talk to him. I want to find out how he's doing that.
Greg's working himself up to go sleep out in the woods out here.
Yeah.
I want to know what his secret is.
Yeah, and you know, and I hope he's okay. I hope nothing's wrong, seriously, and I hope you know, and all that. But I mean, in the beginning of the show, that's what I started out with, is that, you know, truck drivers are their own animal, and sometimes if they don't want to be found, then they're not going to be found. You know, so.
Right.
You know, because it doesn't say in any of the articles, none of the articles that I've read said that the authorities have contacted any of his like shippers or carriers or anybody like that he works for. That they haven't contacted those people. To me, I would think that if you're a law enforcement, you ask the wife, okay, so who's he work for? Well, if he's independent, okay, so who's he haul for? If the wife doesn't know any of that,
Right.
where the wife does not know what kind of freight he hauls or the customers that he contacts and all that stuff, if she doesn't know that, then he doesn't want her to know where he's at.
Yeah, well, if you don't know that, then there's something to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that Harold. That Harold that comes out of the truck show, that is two little dogs.
Oh, yeah.
He went something like that for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He wanted to unplug and get away.
He just wanted to unplug and get away for a while. Just
Yep.
get away. Just not keep out.
There you go. Yep, that's perfect. And that's the way it is. And like I said, it doesn't even seem that the sheriff's office is like putting in a big, you know, effort. They just say, if you've got any information, contact the sheriff's office and everything. So I don't know. Maybe the sheriff. I was just talking about how I worked for a bigger carrier, and Robbie, you could probably attest to this, that these larger carriers, the drivers will tell the carrier, don't release any information. When somebody calls in, when a family member calls in and wants to know, you know, where this driver is or where they're going or whatever, the carrier will say we're not allowed to release that information. Now, if an authority figure calls, like a police department, we'll say yeah.
You got authority figure, they can give whatever they want.
Right, but
they won't give it to you. I'll be back here in a little bit. I'll go get a warrant.
Well-
You can give me all this information.
Well, what we've done, I said I remember specifically that we had a sheriff's office call our office, but they talked to the fleet manager, and the fleet manager told them, says, yeah, I'm not going to tell you where the driver is, but I can tell you that we know where he is, and what we know is that he don't want his wife knowing where he's at. And then the sheriff's like, okay, no problem, thank you, click, you know. It's like so yeah, you know, it's one of those things where the sheriff's calling, and we'll say yeah, everything's fine on our end. We know where he's at. The person that contacted you, that driver just doesn't want to talk to that person. So, you know, because we always try to help, you know, when someone, my husband, I haven't talked to him, and, you know, can you tell me? And I'm like, I love to help you, but it's, you know, but yeah.
I'll give you one of them.
A good deal. But yeah, looks like, yeah, we're just coming up toward it's almost 8:00, and we had a pretty good show this evening. You know, I played some good music, and,
I got it a little late. I got away from us here, and
Oh, no.
went out, got away to eat.
good deal.
And Tim looked on there, and she said, well, say nobody called in. She said, here's at 8:30. I said, oh, so I called.
Good deal. But yeah.
But there's no point in me calling in when I'm right in front of the phone, so.
That's right, because I'm going to charge you for minutes, even though I'm not calling. I'm gonna charge you for-
There you go.
My mouth shut now.
Good stuff. But yeah, good deal, man. Well, appreciate you guys calling, and I'm gonna get off of here, and I might even go grab me a drink. I don't know.
There you go.
There you go. Sounds good. No.
Do with Uber, not Honda.
I had to think about what you're doing. I'm like, oh yeah, see this fight.
He knows what he got left out there. Do Uber, not with Honda.
Oh man.
All right, then.
Yep.
We'll talk to you later on, then, Glenn. We can get closed out with our sponsors and everything, and we will talk to you probably next week.
Good deal. We'll see y'all next time.
Good night.
All right now.
All right.
Good deal. All right. Good deal. Well, everybody, I think, like I said, we're going to tie it up here, and it's going to come to an end. We appreciate everybody listening on and getting with us tonight. Again, like I said, we're live every Sunday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern time. We usually stay on here about 2 hours, depending on how things go. But we talk about the news, what's going on around the trucking, and then some. And like I said, 516-387-1733. You can just listen along, or if you want to be part of the conversation, just hit 1. Just don't forget to check out our website, redneckanize.com. We've got some great sponsors that have been sticking with us for a while. And one of them is Load to Ride Transportation. That's ltrtransportation.com. You can check them out. Let's see here. Where are they at? Right there. Good deal. Yep, LTR, Load to Ride Transportation. You can give them a call at 720-277-0030. And like I said, check them out at loadtorideTransportation.com, LTRtransportation.com. They're a great little outfit out of Denver, Colorado. They got some cool trucks, cool trailers, and pretty much just it looks like they got a lot of work to do, because they're always talking about how they need drivers and they got plenty of customers. So if you're looking to stay busy, there you go. Also, don't forget DPF Regeneration. They've been with us since the beginning. That's dpfregeneration.com. You can check them out at 800-634-3010. And they got all the EGR coolers, catalyst mufflers, SCR units, the DPF filters, all that stuff in stock, and much, much more. Knowledge, the network, everything. They've just been a great group of people. They've been with us a while, and we appreciate all their support. Make sure you tell them you appreciate them supporting Redneckanize. That's dpfregeneration.com. And don't forget to download that Trucker Tools app from your app stores, Trucker Tools, or check them out, truckertools.com. That's one of those all-in-one apps for truckers where you can book freight, track freight, even find maintenance or fuel stops or truck stops, or they even got a special button just for the Walmarts. That's pretty cool. So you check them out and leave a review on your store there about the app. And even if you don't use a lot of their features, the stuff you do use, let them know what you like or don't like. And so they go in all the time. They're always updating it and making it better. So it's a lot of good stuff. And that's Trucker Tools app at the App Store or truckertools.com. Check them out. And like I said, we're gonna call it a night, and we'll be back here next Sunday live 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's 516-387-1733. And you guys don't forget to be safe out there out on the road, and we appreciate everybody listening in. And don't forget to check out our website, redneckanize.com, and go make sure you. We appreciate everybody out there doing that and watching those videos and sharing, liking, subscribing, and everything. So keep doing that, and we appreciate everything. In the meantime, let's just stay safe, stay successful, keep it between the ditches, and we'll see you out there on the road.
My windshield sees the world that my rear view leaves behind. Shifting gears, I love that sound. I top off my tanks and coffee, put the hammer right back down.